Sargeras and the Betrayal. The Keepers went about their duties in Azeroth, unaware of a new threat that was taking shape in the distant reaches of the Great Dark. Sargeras, having broken all ties with the Pantheon, meditated on the fate of the universe in isolation. His fear that the Void Lords had already corrupted the Otherworld souls consumed him. As doubt and despair continued twisting the Titan's every thought, he became more certain than ever that creation itself was fatally flawed. Finally, he concluded that the only way to spare the universe was to purge it in fire. Thus his grand burning crusade would begin. To accomplish this burning crusade, Sargeras required a vast force of unquestionable rage. He knew of only one place that such power and potential, Mardum, the plane of banishment. Over the ages, the prison had become bloated with fell magic and vengeful demons. The presence had warped Mardum, transforming it into a realm of nightmare. Torrents of fell energy ceaselessly bombarded the prison's walls, bathing the captive demons in a roiling sea of volatile magic. Sargeras quelled his remaining apprehension and tore the prison asunder, spilling its wrathful denizens into the great dark beyond. The subsequent explosion of fell magic was powerful beyond even what the fallen Titan had imagined. Violent energies enveloped Sargeras, searching through his veins and searing his very soul. His eyes burst in gouts of emerald fire. Fell volcanoes ignited across his once noble form, splitting his skin apart and revealing an endless furnace of blistering hate. Yet, despite these horrific physical changes, Sargeras' mind remained locked on his one all-consuming purpose: to prevent the Void Lords from possessing creation. Life itself had to be extinguished. In shattering the prison, Sargeras had ruptured the boundary between the Great Dark and the Twisting Nether. A monstrous celestial maw, limbed in a storm of emerald fire, had ripped through the fabric of reality. It would remain a scar on creation, smoldering proof of Sargeras' madness for all eternity. Demons of every shape and size poured into the physical universe from this rift, howling in triumph at their release. Sargeras imbued the ravenous masses with his power, uniting them as one in an inferno of fell magic. Though many demons had previously tapped into the volatile energies of the Nether, none had ever experienced the pure might and rage found in Sargeras' fell. Some of the creatures grew in size and stature. Still, others felt new cunning and intelligence unfold in their minds. By this point, Sargeras had learned more about the nature of demons, including how to permanently destroy their spirits. He offered a simple pact in exchange for the demon's newfound power: fight at his command, or be extinguished. It was not a very difficult choice. To thwart the Void Lords, Sargeras unleashed his new army, his Burning Legion, upon the innumerable worlds of the Great Dark. Never before had the forces of evil been united in such numbers. Sargeras wielded enough power to make disobedience all but unthinkable. None would dream of challenging him, but more importantly, his minions grew to delight in their role as agents of extinction. The Burning Legion fell upon its first world. Though it did not contain a slumbering Titan, it was a world that had been ordered by the Pantheon in ages past. Sargeras' forces incarnated immortal civilizations that dwelled there, wiping out dozens of sentient species. When the Constellar whom the Pantheon had charged to oversee the world arrived, Sargeras himself annihilated the celestial being. Agramar was the first to learn of the Constellar's demise. As more news of the Burning Legion's atrocities reached him, he hunted down the demonic army. Agramar arrived just in time to witness the Legion scouring yet another world. He saw the twisted, fire-wreathed being leading it, his mentor and greatest friend, Sargeras. Orgrimmar was stunned. He demanded an explanation from Sargeras. The former champion offered none, only declaring that his burning crusade was the sole means to purify the universe. Anyone who stood against him, Sargeras added, would burn in the fires of his legion as well. Knowing that he could not sway Sargeras with words, Orgrimmar challenged his former mentor to a single combat. Before the watching eyes of the demon masses, the two greatest warriors of the universe had ever known came to blows. Orgrimmar soon found himself outmatched. Like all titans, he was uniquely susceptible to fell magic. Sargeras' ferocious assault shattered Orgrimmar's defenses and sent him reeling in agony. In a final desperate counterattack, Orgrimmar summoned all the power at his command and struck at Sargeras. Their two blades met, igniting a furious explosion of fell and arcane power. When the torrent of warring energies finally subsided, Sargeras and Orgrimmar saw that both of their weapons had been shattered. Heavily wounded by the blast, Orgrimmar retreated from the battle and returned to the rest of the Pantheon. Disbelief gripped the other Titans as they learned what had happened. The thought of their most trusted and noble warrior falling to darkness shook their faith to the core. The Pantheon could not fathom how to stop such a threat, yet they agreed that they could not sit idly by. Girded for war, the combined might of the Pantheon confronted Sargeras and his unholy legion near the world named Nihilum. Aman'Thul called out to Sargeras, pleading with him to abandon his mad burning crusade. He told Sargeras of Azeroth, a fledgling world soul with more potential than any of the Pantheon had ever seen, a being strong enough to defeat the Void Lords in due time. Sargeras listened carefully but was unmoved. Despite his early battle with Sargeras, Orgrimmar believed that something noble still lingered deep in the former champion's heart. As a last resort, he laid down his arms and approached the fallen Titan. Orgrimmar recounted tales of their glorious battles against demons, reminding Sargeras of the sacred oaths they had sworn to protect creation. But Sargeras was set in his ways. Nothing the Pantheon could say, nothing even his cherished prodigy could say, would ever change his mind. With a howl of rage and sorrow, Sargeras struck Orgrimmar down, his ruined fell blade nearly cleaving the Titan in two. Infuriated by this unthinkable murder, the Pantheon launched an all-out assault on Sargeras and his burning legion. Stars withered and died as the battle raged across the cosmos, scarring vast stretches of reality. Nihilum, known thereafter as the Doom World, became warped and twisted by the apocalyptic conflict. The Titans of the Pantheon wielded powers incomprehensible to mortal minds, yet even they could not overcome Sargeras' fell-fueled might. The fallen Titan decimated the Pantheon members with fell fire until he had broken their will to fight. To seal their demise, Sargeras summoned a massive fellstorm that would consume their bodies and souls alike. Yet, just as the furious onslaught of energy washed over the defeated Titans, Norgannon made one last attempt to stave off oblivion. Norgannon bent the raw energies of the universe to his will, weaving a protective shroud around each of the Pantheon's spirits and launching them into the Great Dark. While the Titans' disembodied souls hurtled through the cosmos, Sargeras' fellstorm obliterated what remained of their physical forms. Unaware that the Titan spirits had survived, Sargeras declared the Burning Legions victorious. The Pantheon was no more, and he now had tantalizing clues about the power of the world soul called Azeroth. Yet, though Sargeras had learned the name of this nation Titan, its whereabouts remained a mystery. Nonetheless, without the Pantheon to oppose him, he knew he would find a new world soul in time, and he knew he would have to do so before the Void Lords did. The Burning Crusade. The Burning Legion had triumphed over the Pantheon, and Sargeras moved to rally even more demons to his cause. Yet, the fight with the Pantheon had exposed a flaw in his seemingly unstoppable army. one that he was determined to remedy. For all of Sargeras' vast power and intellect, he could not direct his entire army at once. Demons were vicious and bloodthirsty, but most lacked strategic thinking. Much of the Legion had fallen needlessly to the Pantheon. Sargeras wanted cunning and tactically minded commanders to join his side, and he had seen a place from which to harvest such servants, a world called Argus. Argus was home to the highly advanced Eridar, a race far more intelligent than any of the other Sargeras had encountered. The Eridar hungered for knowledge above all else. By attaining it, they believed they could shape the universe into a better and more benevolent place. A triumvirate of leaders ruled over the Eridar, not by might or fear, but by contemplating the great questions of the cosmos and sharing the answers with their people. The mighty Archimonde had a gift for finding the strengths in those around him. His bold demeanor inspired his followers, filling them with the confidence and the courage to face any challenge. Kil'jaeden, the most brilliant of the rulers, was considered a prodigy even among the gifted Eridar. Witty and cunning, he reveled in puzzling out the most confounding mysteries of the cosmos. Last, there was Velen, the spiritual heart of the Triumvirate. He stood as a relentless champion of peace, whose wisdom could diffuse any conflict. Individually, each member of the Triumvirate would have made an excellent leader, but it was together, with each of their strengths working in synergy, that they elevated their people to heights undreamt of. The Eridar's great cohesion was the ideal solution to the Legion's weaknesses, yet, to conscript them to his cause, Sargeras would have to corrupt them entirely. In the guise of the radiant and elegant being, he communed with the Eridar Triumvirate. Sargeras played to their desires, promised them knowledge and unimaginable power. He showed them worlds beyond count over which they might hold dominion, primitive places that the Eridar could transform into sanctuaries of peace and intellectual thought. Sargeras vowed to share with the Eridar not only the most obscure secrets of existence, but also the final answer to what he believed was the fundamental flaw in creation. In return, the denizens of Argus would devote themselves to Sargeras' grand work and help him remedy that flaw. The offer awed both Archimonde and Kil'jaeden, who were honored to be part of this grand undertaking. Velen, however, was not convinced. He sensed something strange about the seemingly beautiful and all-knowing creature who had appeared to them. Velen meditated using an ancient artifact gifted to his race by the holy Naru long before his time, the Atamal crystal. Through the enchanted relic, he received a horrific vision of the Eridar's future if they sided with Sargeras. They would become horribly disfigured, transformed into demonic beings of depthless evil. Velen warned his brother what he had seen, but they dismissed his insight and made it clear that they intended to accept Sargeras' offer. Fearing that Archimonde and Kil'jaeden would kill him if he continued to dissent, Velen feigned acceptance. Though he and Kil'jaeden were particularly close friends, Velen didn't believe he could trust their bond to prevail over Sargeras' enticing promises. Velen despaired at the faith of his people. In this moment of desperation, the same beings who had granted him the vision of the Eridar's downfall reached out to him. One of the Naru, K'ur, contacted the Eridar leader and offered to shepherd him and his closest allies to safety. Filled with renewed hope, Velen sought out the other Eridar whom he believed he could trust. As Sargeras arrived on Argus to corrupt the unsuspecting Eridar, Velen and his followers made their daring escape. They gathered aboard a massive Naru-dimensional fortress known as the Genedar and fled their homeworld forever. From that day forward, Velen and his followers would be known as the Draenei, or Exiled Ones. On Argus, Sargeras bent the other Eridar to his unholy will. Fanatical fell whispering surged through the minds of the world's inhabitants, drowning out their ability to reason. Sargeras also infused their Eridar with fell energies, twisting their forms to resemble hideous demons. Sargeras found quick use for his new fell-corrupted converts. The Eredar settled in as commanders within the Burning Legion. Kil'jaeden and Archimonde would stand as the most gifted and powerful among them. Sargeras molded Kil'jaeden's innate cunning and intellect to suit the Legion's designs, known thereafter as the Deceiver. Kil'jaeden was charged with using his wits to beguile the mortal civilizations of the physical universe and transform them into agents of the Burning Legion. Sargeras also saw Archimonde's talent in motivating his people as an invaluable tool to strengthen the Burning Crusade. Archimonde, henceforth known as the Defiler, would use his powerful will to drive the demonic masses to acts of extreme violence and barbarism. He would draw out and temper the furious strength in all those who served under him, remaking them into weapons of annihilation. Under the Eredar's leadership, the ranks of the Burning Legion swelled with new demonic races, gathered from the twisting nether and the worlds of the Great Dark. Archimonde empowered the monstrous Pit Lords and conscripted them to serve as living siege engines. They would inspire dread in all those they faced. The Mo'arj, a highly resourceful and industrious race of demons, became the Legion's armorers. They would forge fel-infused weaponry and constructs to besiege the worlds of the cosmos. Kil'jaeden also brought in the devious Succumbi to infiltrate prospecting worlds for conquest and gather intelligence about their civilizations. The brutal Doomguard, demon warriors of unsurpassed strength and cruelty, fought as the Legion's shock troops. The Sealess Shivara became the Legion's foremost mystic and advisors. They fostered a fanatical loyalty to Sargeras. These wicked creatures, among many others, bolstered the might of the Burning Legion. Pleased with the burgeoning forces, Sargeras launched the demons into the Great Dark, renewing his burning crusade against creation. In the ages to come, the Legion would scour countless other worlds and civilizations from existence.